This week on Beacon Web News, we celebrate the annual Fall Foliage Parade. Then, we catch up with Yorick during this week's club feature. And MCLA serves the North Adams community during this year's Fall Day of Service. That's coming up next on Beacon Web News. Welcome to the October 3rd episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Julia Texera. This past Sunday was the 63rd annual Fall Foliage Parade, one of the biggest annual events in North Adams. And BWN's Karina Matera was there to experience the event.
Every fall, North Adams hosts this extravagant fall foliage parade. People from all over line the streets hours before it starts just to grab a great view of the show. Roads are closed down all over the city for a few hours, and children indulge in fun. The theme of this year's parade was the Year of the Dog. This parade is like no other. There's a reason why it made it to its 63rd annual year.
Everybody's always happy and friendly, and it's a lot of fun.
The marching members in the road consist of a wide variety of individuals such as the Museum of Dog Workers, police, the North Adams mayor, firefighters, high school bands, MCLA students, and even people looking to raise awareness for safety and justice. Before the parade started, I had time to speak with some local residents on why they come back to the parade every year.
Because I have children, and because I've grown up coming to the parade.
Every year that I have a family member or friend that's always in the parade.
My daughter's cheering this year for her first year, and she's going to be marching in the parade. So that's why this year is most exciting.
If you have yet to check it out, this Fall Foliage Parade is definitely something you want to be a part of. For Beacon Web News, I'm Karina Matera.
Come out for a great night of music and fun during the performance of the Decemberists at Mass Mocha on Thursday, October 4th. The Decemberists are an indie rock band from Portland, Oregon. They're releasing their 8th studio album next March. They've worked with producers such as John Congleton, who has worked with singer Lana Del Rey on a record. Be sure to stop by at 8 p.m. and buy tickets on massmocha.org as seats are limited. On October 5th, Common Folk will be hosting Shut the Folk Up with Mike Martin and Sierra Fragile at 7 p.m. Fragile is a singer-songwriter from New York, writing music since she was a teenager. Martin is a local ukulele player. Doors open at 6:30 and tickets are $10. Reserve tickets by emailing boxoffice.commonfolk@gmail.com. This past year, through the Me Too movement, many women had the courage to stand up and tell their stories of abuse. However, as the contentious hearings for Judge Brett Kavanaugh show, sexual assault survivors still often face an uphill battle in seeking justice. Andrew Belargin provides his take on this week's edition of Take Note with Andrew Belargin.
Only roughly 40% of all instances of sexual assault will end up being reported to the police, according to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, which is the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. Of those reports, only a little less than a quarter result in someone being arrested. Out of those reported, only 7.5% of them end up ever seeing jail time. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center reports that since 1998, the rate for false reports on sexual violence is 5.03%, which is a statistic on par with false reports on most other forms of violent crime. We have watched many criticize, shame, verbally abuse, or even threaten Dr. Christine Ford over her sexual assault accusations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. We live in a country where we assume innocence in a court of law unless an alleged perpetrator is proven guilty. But we also shouldn't use that as grounds to immediately dismiss a claim that a crime took place, especially when we're discussing a subject as important and traumatic as sexual assault. Knowing how they will be treated in the media and the court of public opinion is likely a main reason why most women who have been sexually assaulted do not come forward. Now, sexual assault is a very traumatic, dangerous, and sometimes life-threatening experience. And who are we to criticize Dr. Ford for waiting so long to come forward against Brett Kavanaugh? For those who suggest she has political or financial motivations, I would argue that if I was in her shoes, I would not want to see my attacker attain one of the most powerful positions of political authority in our country. And quite frankly, nobody who has been assaulted needs to be told by somebody else how to handle their reactions to that assault. The statistics show that we have created an atmosphere in our country where we, as a country, seem to favor those accused of sexual assault vehemently and almost immediately upon being accused. This is what silences those who have been sexually assaulted and what empowers those who commit it and encourages them to continue to do it. Innocent until proven guilty is one thing, but it should not degenerate into victim shaming and the belief that perpetrators can get away with almost anything. Thank you, and make sure to view Beacon Web News next week for another edition of Take Note.
National College Radio Day is October 5th, and there's going to be a special show on WJJW from 12 to 2 p.m., hosted by Jake Vitale and Jim Nabalski. The show is designed to showcase why college radio is so important and how it helps people develop real broadcasting careers. On Friday, October 5th, the MCLA men's soccer team will be facing Framingham State in a MASCAC matchup at 5 p.m. under the lights of Shoecraft Field. Last Tuesday, the North Adams City Council held its meeting, and BWN's Shanquelle Dennis gave us an inside scoop at what's to come for the city of North Adams.
With the end of September, it is officially Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In January, Krista Lee Still Nutzlin was murdered by her husband in North Adams. Liz Mitchell from the Elizabeth Freeman Center spoke about the murder and domestic violence to the City Council as part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Wearing a purple ribbon this month will show your support for domestic violence awareness. The North Adams City Council is considering following Adams and Williamstown Police and offering exemptions from the civil service requirement in order to attract more local police candidates. The civil service process has been used in North Adams since 1884 and includes a written test, a physical exam, and looking at past disciplinary actions. A psychological component would be added to the new requirements. Parents shared their concerns and the need for an official crosswalk at the intersection of Bradley and Church Street so that children can cross the street safely. Some people emphasized how they have shared their safety concerns for years, and yet nothing is being done. The council suggested various solutions such as crosswalk, flashing signs, and crosswalk markers. For Beacon Web News, I'm Shanquelle Dennis.
As part of the Hardman Lecture Series, Emmy Award-winning journalist Maria Hinojosa will be speaking on Thursday, October 11th in the Church Street Center. Hinojosa is the anchor and producer of NPR's Latino USA and is connected with millions through her podcast and the independent nonprofit organization she's created. The lecture is free, open to the public, and starts at 7 p.m. We're all here to blaze our own trails, but we could all use some assistance. Today, Wednesday, October 3rd, and once again on Wednesday, October 10th, Career Development is hosting a career and wardrobe assistance event in the Campus Center Marketplace. This will be taking place from 12 to 2 p.m., where you will get free professional clothing from Goodwill. This outfit will be sure to help you land your dream job. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the Susan B. Anthony Women's Center will be tabling in the Campus Center throughout the month for those who would like to find out more information, and also for those who would just like to show their support for people who have and are currently battling the disease. Stop by and make sure to take advantage. This past Tuesday, during Common Time, new students had the chance to come together while eating pizza to learn more about the MCLA campus and to share their successes and concerns about their journey so far. BWN's Andrew Strout caught a slice of the action.
First semester students were able to share their successes and concerns at the Vice President's New Student Conversation. New transfer and freshman students were invited to the Church Street Center to continue their discussion from the first day's program. Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Catherine Holbrook, and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Emily Williams, led the discussion for new students to share their goals.
I have classes with a lot of the people I've run into, so I'd say it's helped me make friends, and it definitely informed me about the clubs, and then the ice cream social is the day I actually got to sign up for most of them.
The discussion centered on how students are adjusting into the MCLA community and how they are keeping up in their classes. The first-year experience program has evolved over the past few years, and peer advisors now play a more active role in new students' lives.
It became more discussion-based, Before, it was more like a course when they were just kind of standing in the front of the classroom and just teaching it to you. Now we basically have like the students talk about like their experiences.
It's definitely helped a lot. It's given me some people that I can start to know. Otherwise, I feel like I'd just be a loner.
It's helped me to get to know more members of my class.
Students were reminded to take full advantage of all their resources, including the Center for Student Success and Engagement, tutors, and their professors' office hours. If you missed the first new student conversation, you can attend the other two that are planned at the end of November and at the end of the semester. For Beacon Web News, I'm Andrew Strout.
The 41st annual Sam Gomez Classic Road Race will take place on Sunday, October 14th. Registration will begin at 9:30 a.m. outside of MCLA's Sullivan Lounge. The entry fee is $22 for non-MCLA students and $6 for current MCLA students. The first 75 runners to check in will receive a free t-shirt. Walkers are welcome, and for more information on how to register or to send a donation, visit mcla.edu/samgomez. On Saturday, October 6th at 8 p.m., Cuban musician Harold Lopez Nusa will be performing at Mass Mocha. His music includes elements of pop, classical, folk, and jazz for a distinctly unique show. Tickets are $16 for students and advance, $26 at the door, and $40 for preferred seating. For more information, visit massmocha.org. MCLA gave back to the North Adams community at this year's Fall Day of Service last Saturday, and BWN's Chantal Dennis was there to lend a hand.
Today we're here in the Venable Gym where the annual Fall Day of Service is taking place. Chris Hampman talks about how the Fall Day of Service is put together every semester.
So I go out in the community and I meet with community partners and learn about the needs that are facing the community. And then I work with my student workers in the office of the Volunteer Center to put these projects together that address these community needs. And we do our best to get the tools and supplies needed and recruit volunteers. Recruiting happens about 3 weeks before the event, and then we send everyone on their way to the volunteer sites.
Hampman shares his favorite part about the event.
My favorite part of the event is seeing people from different groups, different clubs, different organizations in the community come together and work towards a common goal. We had students from Drury High School, we had members of the softball team and different Greek organizations here on campus come together and really give back to the different community organizations in need.
MCLA students talk about the importance of giving back to the community.
So the Fall Day service and the Spring Day service, every year, me and my organization, Pi Epsilon Pi, we come as a group, we do this together. We really believe in giving back to the community, and we want to show it to the rest of the MCLA community and the North Adams community that we're here, we're live, and we want to give back.
I expect to grow even more. Volunteering and being close within a community is something that I like to do. So I just feel like I'm connecting more with North Adams.
Well, what I'm getting is just an incredible experience. It's so crazy to see like so many people coming out here, sacrificing their Saturday mornings just to help out the community. And it's just a really great time to see everyone come together and work towards a noble cause.
The Community Day of Service happens once a semester. For more information on volunteer opportunities, visit the Center for Service in the Campus Center. For Beacon Web News, I'm Chantal Dennis.
On the 3rd of every month, Mass Mocha is offering free admission to North Adams residents until June 3rd. You can visit new and old exhibits such as Christina Kubish's Clock Tower project or Sol Levitt's A Wall Drawing Retrospective. All you have to do is bring a valid ID to prove that you are a resident of the 01247 area code. Visit massmocha.org for more information. Visit MCLA Gallery 51 from now until November 18th for Spectrum, an art exhibit focusing on discussions of gender and identification with works from 29 artists. Gallery 51 is open from 10 to 6 and is located on Main Street. And in the return of Club Feature, BWN's Ali Tino gets a scoop of what's to come for Yorick.
I'm here in the Church Street Center Social Hall, where students are currently in the midst of channeling their inner Shakespeare as they prepare for their next show, Twelfth Night. They are Yorick. Every Monday through Thursday from 7 to 10, you'll find students involved with Yorick hard at work as they not only look to understand the meaning of Shakespeare's words, but strive to bring his play to life.
I'm really excited for people to watch Twelfth Night because it really speaks to a message of like loss, and specifically in like the depth of loss, how people react, even comically. And it's really important that people understand that not everyone sees things as like black and white, where you see Olivia, which is the main character, is a very depressed person, but you see some other characters really develop as the play goes on, you kind of understand them more deeply. You kind of get that sometimes like despair isn't always what we characterize it as in media.
New members interested in getting involved are encouraged to attend the meetings as future plays are voted on the previous semester.
It is the most fun I've had on campus. It is the most fun that I have off campus too, because we all become friends afterwards. You will never find a better family than you will when you find your family at a show.
It's a really great way to improve your communication skills, improve your acting skills, meet people. It's really, really fun. It's a great thing to do.
Whether you've spent your entire life on the stage or in the audience, Yorick encourages all students at MCLA to get involved regardless of past experience.
A lot of people kind of like shudder when they hear the word Shakespeare. They're like, oh, I can't understand that. I don't know how to read Shakespeare and stuff like that. Well, I said that until I started doing it.
Together both on and off the stage, this semester Jade Schnauber and Jarrett Garland are learning to balance co-directing a play with their significant other.
It's a lot of fun because this person is like the one person I'm closest with in the whole world, and so we get to work together and really bring this thing to life. It's also cool because we have two different takes on what theater is and what it should look like. He's more technical, he does lighting design and all of that, whereas I have always come at it from an acting viewpoint.
We've been dating for 2 years and it's kind of like this intimate thing, but it's hard because sometimes you have to remove your personal feelings, and especially in a collaborative role where you're both a hierarchical power, there's some times where you have to learn to like not talk and let the other speak, and like vice versa.
Should you choose to stroll back in time with Shakespeare's Yorick and attend Twelfth Night, director Jade Schnauber hopes the audience takes away but one thing when the stage lights dim.
Yorick itself has done like 6 tragedies in the past. Like, we have not done a comedy since I've been here, so I just really want just the cast to have fun, to see like also what a comedy is like because we haven't done it, but also for the people surrounding us to have fun and just pure enjoyment.
According to William Shakespeare, all the world's a stage. Come November 9th, visit the Church Street Center Social Hall as the curtain rises on Yorick's show, Twelfth Night. For Beacon Web News, I'm Allie Tienel.
BWN's Karen Canella is currently in Spain this semester as a part of the Study Abroad program. She sent me an update about the protests that are happening in Barcelona. She said that, quote, "The protests against the Spanish government filled the streets of Barcelona, Spain, as they celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the referendum for Catalan independence from Spain. After the referendum passed last year, the Spanish government sent troops and police to break up demonstrations occurring throughout Barcelona in support of the independence movement. In this year's protests, Catalans are still demanding their independence from the country, screaming, quote, 'We are not prisoners.' Many times the large crowds sang songs in Catalan that symbolized their desires for being freed from Spain's government. The protests took various pauses as residents stopped their chants to hum while kneeling on the floor to represent the mistreatment they endured from last year's events and the resistance from the Spanish government, who is not granting them their freedom. In these silent moments, the residents sent their message that they will not stand to be prisoners to the government they no longer want to be a part of. People of all ages, including young kids, elderly people, and teenagers, were in attendance at the anniversary protests. As the demonstration reached its end, protesters walked to the Parliament of Catalan and peacefully sang native songs. At the end of the night, some protesters were angry with the lack of response from officials and began burning garbage cans and destroying things on the streets. The Spanish government immediately stepped in, and no one was reported hurt from the altercations. Residents in Barcelona have told Karen that these protests will continue until their independence is gained. That's it for this week. To stay up to date with BWN, follow us on social media. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.